bilingual author, national board certified teacher, educational consultant, and a keynote speaker. She has taught for over 25 years. Susan has published more than 20 books. In her book, The Story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, hit number 18 on the Amazon overall bestseller list and 9 among all children's books. So, with that said, Susan, we're proud to have you with us tonight. Your book, as I read the certificate, we're awarding you as the certificate, but in the end, it says, Old Baldy Civil War Roundtable extends a grateful thanks for your distinguished efforts in promoting the education, preservation, and memory of the Civil War era. And that last phrase, the Civil War era, is particularly important to us because as a roundtable, we specialize in the whole Civil War experience, both before the Civil War, the war itself, Reconstruction, and its effects. And in your book, I was really impressed how, and really is a young person's book that's not volumes long, you got all of that in there, particularly in how you wrapped it up at the end and brought it into present day. So I commend you for all that, and we're very, very proud to have you here tonight and make this award to you.
Thank you so
with
much.
This award comes your certificate, and I will be sending this out to you. You will get your very own Old Baldy drinking mug. This is for our 50th anniversary. We've been around a long time. I don't know if we're the oldest round table in the country, but we're one of the oldest. Also, there is some literature here for you, an Old Baldy pen, and of course, an Old Baldy shopping bag. But the most important thing is you now are a member of Old Baldy for the next year. We're very proud to have you as a member.
Thank you very much.
You're
really
very, very welcome.
It's an honor.
We're going to get a picture of you with Old Baldy, and
this is flat Old Baldy. So.
Old Baldy travels all over the world to meet people, and so you get
like Flat Stanley.
He just came back from England.
Wow.
He does more traveling than I do.
Yeah. Big smile. Oh, okay.
Susan, if I could ask you one question.
Sure.
What we have. Of your many books, they're all history books. And how did you come to this book? What brought you to this?
I want to say the honest answer is my editor asked me to write it.
Okay, that's a good beginning.
That's, however, you know, my father was in the Air Force during the Vietnam War, and he was stationed in Shreveport, Louisiana. And at that time, it was still, there were still fountains and things like that labeled, as I mentioned in the book, up until 68. My father started in the Air Force in 67. And so I've heard stories of the kinds of things. My mom was a teacher, and at the time, Black teachers weren't allowed to teach at the school she was at. And so, you know, it's not, in my parents' lifetime, these impacts, the ramifications of the war were still there, the separation, the segregation. And so, you know, I definitely feel like, as you said, it was important to bring it to present day and talk about how it impacts, you know, Black Americans in the U.S. and overall democracy. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's really important for kids to learn the history that is, you know, I wrote Pearl Harbor as well, the history of Pearl Harbor. And I also wrote like 50 most important events in the history of the world, which was very hard to do as it's a little older, it's middle school. But so, yeah, my editor asked me to do it, but I was, you know, I have to accept the topic, right? And I definitely felt like it was important to teach children about it. I was a teacher, as you said, for many, many years.
Well, as a teacher, you'll appreciate one of the things that was our goal in this whole thing is to get young people to read this book and to get it. We have been struggling to get our message into the school system. We have struck upon something that seems to be working out very well for us. There's a facility here in South Jersey called Book Smile, and it gives teachers an opportunity to go in, pick up books for the students. Primarily, they come from areas of the state that less financially capable to buy the books. And we brought 50 of them in, and we know that 6 teachers have taken these books back to their school, whether
Nice.
they'll be for summer reading or maybe next year's class. They've asked us to double that, so we're going to donate another 50 books. So our goal is to get these into the hands of teachers and students so they can really understand this period of the Civil War.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that.
No, thank you. And thank you for writing the book, and thank you for being here tonight.
Of course, it's an honor.